What's up, y'all? This is Nelson, owner and chief Cabana Boy here at Cabana Boys Events. Welcome to the Cabana Boys Podcast. I have no idea what episode number we're at. Today we have Eric Burdick. He is the CEO and co-founder of Becky Personality Juice, which is like the coolest like moniker for a brand or product ever. I love it. So we're going to get into that, a little bit more about the brand, how it got started, how it's going now, more of your personal life too, and then we'll do our kind of normal spiel from there. But we have a very special portion of the show today. Just given that Becky Personality Juice is here, it's just only natural that the Cabana Boys cooler is filled with Becky, right?
Absolutely.
So let's get it open. Let's crack one.
It's Friday. Let's get it. Thank you.
One of these is gold.
The luck of the draw. We got a tropical cherry here.
All right, so what's your flavor, Eric, or favorite flavor?
What's your flavor? To be honest, it's been 4 years now, so I've been waiting for these new flavors to come.
Yeah.
But
Cheers.
if I were to, blindfold and say what's my favorite flavor, probably mango. Because it's actually true to mango.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First sip. You know the rules. Oh,
it's good.
Personality is enhanced.
Okay, I'm not just saying this because you're sitting here. They are very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, like they are. I feel like it's like and you might hate me for saying this, but it's kind of like a high noon.
Yeah.
In like the flavor profile.
Yep.
But it's like not as like sweet. It's more like it has kind of like the toned down with like a White Claw or Truly.
For sure.
It's fantastic.
No,
Yeah.
like I was telling, excuse me, your name's Ted, right? Sorry, I don't want to screw that up.
Yeah.
You have to try every sample while you're in the lab going through the process of flavors at room temp, right? And that's how you know like the juice is going to be good, is
Right.
trying it at warm
Yeah.
room temp. So we went through a lot of iterations trying to get this right, and High Noon actually was one of the inspirations back in the day. That's before they got on Barstool, and I was like, bam, this is bold.
Yeah. So did High Noon start with Barstool or Barstool like picked it up?
They started with Gallo Wine. So they had the backing of just a conglomerate that had billions of dollars, which most brands need to like survive in the beverage space. So I noticed them way back in the day, and they had what every other brand didn't, or I like to say drink. They actually had flavor.
Yeah.
So that was the starting point.
I used to sell Gallo like as
Really?
at a distributor. Yeah.
Okay.
Before High Noon though. I didn't get any of that, unfortunately.
You missed the fun, man.
I know.
That was the big splash.
Right. So you started this in 2021. What were you doing before that?
Bars, restaurants, nightclubs.
Okay. Like bartending, managing?
I went from bartending all the way to owning.
Okay.
Saw the success of Les Carreri when I was like 20. Graduated from ASU. I was just a young buck in a fraternity, kind of in the social scene. He saw my network and was like, hey, you want to bartend? So I went from bartending and then seeing how well the owners, managers were doing. So I hopped up to, bar manager, GM. And then I was like, I want skin in the game. What am I doing this for still?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very toxic, but the money is not. So it was just the journey of that. And then kind of just getting inspired to just scale faster and larger and globally instead of just doing another bar or restaurant.
For sure. So where'd you get the idea for this?
I got the idea just because I'm a marketing guy, and I noticed there were so many bland drinks. There was like with flavor and with personality, and we need to bring like a mascot to life.
Yeah.
And Becky was like this pop culture phenomenon, right? She was just being mentioned, and whether you were a wild child at happy hour, whether it was some girl dancing on the bar, like we wanted to make light of all these other drinks that were just being smacking like a name on a can. So Personality Juice was born, and we just tried to disrupt going backwards and kind of like building a true brand instead of, just being generic.
Right. Yeah. Right? I mean, like you have, like, I think of the Simply brand, like the juice, the Simply Orange, Simply Lemonade. Now they have a seltzer.
Yep.
It's like, have you seen the SNL skit with the JCPenney seltzer?
I think I saw a meme or like a reel on Instagram.
Yeah,
but
it's like
they nailed it. Yeah,
the skit is like it's a J.C. Penney. It tastes like men's leather jackets. You know.
That's how crazy it is. Like these companies, they have too much money, but they don't have any creative brains.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, let's do this too, and then they usually end up wasting a bunch of money and not knowing how to connect with their audience.
So is Becky like, oh my God, Becky, like that Becky, or
there's two meanings to Becky.
Okay.
There's the Becky you want to hang out with, right? That's your fun friend.
Yeah.
And then the other meaning is give me that Becky, right? Where it's also pop culture, where I think the gentleman named Plies in 2010 came up with Becky, which means blowjob.
Oh, I did not know that.
Hey, you learn something new every day in pop culture. So when someone is like, singing the lyric, which we had to stop playing the song because our first 2 years that we were launching, it was like
it's nonstop.
Plies and Becky.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty vulgar song, but what songs aren't vulgar these days
so
that
true.
are so popular?
Yeah. Taylor Swift's album came out last night.
Okay.
And they're talking about like she like teenage pregnancy and like doing something while, in the basement while their brother's playing video games. Like even Taylor Swift is a little naughty.
Yeah. She's going with the trend.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that she's got the audience, she can be a little edgy, I guess.
Right.
Even though it falls as low as 11-year-olds. I don't know. You got to be careful.
So being the CEO of a seltzer brand, are you just like drinking these for breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Pretty much.
Becky is the breakfast of champions. I piss Becky. I have it for my pre-workouts before I go to the gym. No, to be honest, in all honesty, Monday through Friday, I'm Eric. And then on the weekend, I'm Bird. So I need to play the strict 9-to-5 guy to where we're making sure nothing's getting behind us, nothing's falling through the cracks. Yep. And then on the weekends, I have to shake hands and kiss babies.
Yeah.
So I have a rule to not drink on the weekdays.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I'm sure you could like it could get away from you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you're around it all the time.
I learned my lesson the first year of launching, and every week was a party.
Yeah.
You're throwing events, you're traveling to different locations where Becky is, and you can't get ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
So are you mostly focusing on off-premise or versus on-premise, or which one?
We focused a lot on on-premise in the first year that we were born, 2021. For the viewers that don't know what on-premise means, that's bars, restaurant, nightclubs.
Right.
I mean, the bragging right for a brand is to get in the club, right?
Yep.
So you can show it off to your friends. It's Instagrammable. But to make sense, if you really want to grow value with your company in the beverage space, off-premise is where it at.
Because of the volume, I'm assuming.
Volume, that's how you get on the data list, the Nielsen report.
Right.
So off-premise, just so everyone knows, is the big box, large format retail stores. So you have your grocery stores all the way starting from the top, Walmart, Kroger, Albertsons, and then your C stores, which would be the 7-Elevens and the Circle K's of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
So how's it going?
It is a startup.
Yeah.
So you have your peaks and your valleys.
For sure.
And every day is never a dull moment.
So you mentioned, we talked a couple weeks ago and you were in Cabo.
Yeah.
Launching there.
Yeah.
How, like, I feel like doing business in Mexico is like, it would be challenging.
It's actually not.
Really?
I found the right guy.
He,
let's just say he's basically the government down there. He is the jefe.
Okay.
So I found the right individual that can just open up doors, and then he can make things happen, not just in Cabo and Mexico, but also South America.
Oh, okay.
So our plan is to simultaneously still do our thing in the United States,
Yeah.
but make the brand cool in Latin America, because Latin America loves a cool, American brand.
Yeah.
Especially when it's called Becky.
Yeah.
So we're excited to start that route, whether if it's production in Paraguay, moving it to Brazil, who doesn't want a Brazilian Becky? And then moving it down to, Cabo Cooler, which is one of our new SKUs in Cabo, and then going to the tour spots like Puerto Vallarta, down to Tulum, and then taking it back to the States again.
Nice. That's awesome. So is that where you're kind of focusing your growth then? Is
where places I like to travel.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah.
It's the least resistance, right? So it's putting together the right team and getting the right distribution strategy going.
Yeah. So talk about your new flavors, because I know those are coming soon.
It's a moving target, but we finally have 2 new flavors coming. It's been 4 years. So Cabo Cooler, which is our sessionable skinny margarita.
Okay.
That's like a blend between passion fruit and mango.
Nice.
And it's going to go straight down to Cabo.
That sounds great.
To everyone that doesn't know this, the most popular drink in the United States is a margarita. So we're going to do it good, and it's going to have tequila in it. And tequila is trending, especially with our audience, Gen Z.
Yeah. So it has tequila in it, whereas this is
this is malt.
Malt, yeah.
Which no one knows what the hell malt is. So it's like, if we can get more defined with what we are and what's in the can, the better.
Yeah.
And girls go nuts for anything that says tequila on it.
Yeah. So you have Cabo Cooler. Any others?
Oh, Pink AF. So it's like let's just say a powered up pink lemonade, and that was like our number 1 SKU. So what we did is we juiced it up with like a lemon drop meets a pink starburst. So pink can, pink finish, Instagrammable again. So that one should be doing very well. That's vodka.
Yeah. I mean, I love lemonade.
Yeah.
I love mango. I love margaritas. So I know you're trying to appeal to like bachelorettes and you know, that demographic, but you got a customer in me, Eric.
We got a business partner right here. This is really a business meeting.
Yeah. On camera.
Yes.
That's awesome. So what do you do outside of work? I mean, I'm an entrepreneur too. So like work is kind of all encompassing, but when you're not Bird and you're not Becky and you're not Eric, what's your free time?
I'm a meathead. You'll see me at the gym, either laying out or lifting weights.
What gym do you go to?
Lifetime.
Nice.
Yeah.
At Fashion Square?
Yeah. I actually love that location. There's a lot of mixed reviews because it's boutique.
Yeah.
But, the new phenomenon is the cold water, right? They got cold water there.
Did they add it? Or
no, they just had it.
Gotcha.
You want to talk about just being the best you can from Monday through Friday. I mean, it's so over redundant talked about, but it's life changing.
Yeah. What's your protocol? Do you do it every morning?
I do it before I work out.
Okay.
And it just boosts the testosterone. So it's like a natural pre-workout.
Yeah.
So I know people are sick of hearing cold plunge, but do it.
Yeah.
So it primes the mind, and then you're lifting weights. And then I've always had ADD. So whatever I can do to biohack, whether if it's more productivity, and that's my recipe.
I used to do the cold plunge pre-workout too. And I liked it a lot.
What happened?
I ran out of time, honestly, and it's a terrible excuse. But just like my workouts right now are just like kind of compressed. And so I feel like I've got a long to-do list right now, and it shortens up a little bit, I'll have more time to do that. But I agree. It's just like a natural pre-workout.
You have 6 companies, so I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But that's what they say. Get in and get out. You don't need to be working out for longer than 30 minutes or 45 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I've been doing a lot of mobility stuff, which has felt really great. Worked out my legs yesterday for the first time, like heavy in a while, and I'm feeling it a lot today.
That's another cheat code, is doing heavy legs.
Yeah.
It's a painkiller, stress killer, and then another testosterone booster.
Yeah, for sure.
Until we start taking testosterone.
Someday,
Someday soon.
You can get that in Mexico.
Yeah, you actually can.
Your Cabo Cooler with a side of tea.
Yeah, that's the morning start right there.
So I asked you to bring a couple, or 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
Do you have those ready?
I am ready. I'm
gonna try to guess.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
I don't know you very well, so this
is great.
Yeah.
We're gonna break the ice here. I was actually once a Cabana Boy.
Wow. Let's go.
All right, we're gonna do number 2.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. I have a twin brother.
Okay. Okay.
Number 3 is Russell Simmons taught me how to meditate.
Oh man,
Those
these are good. These are good. I like these. Sometimes we get them like, I was a history major in college. I'm like,
Nah.
how am I supposed to know that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna say that you have a twin brother. I think that's true. And
Keep going, yeah.
I'm just gonna say that the Cabana Boy is a lie, just because you're trying to like be relevant right now to the show.
I'm just trying to get in good with you, okay? We're poor here.
And Gene Simmons, is that what you said?
Russell Simmons,
yeah.
Mr. Def Jam.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think that's just like obscure enough that it's true.
All right, we'll break it down. So I was actually a Cabana Boy.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
For the Hotel Marriott and Marina in San Diego my freshman year. So
Okay.
I handed out towels, sold beer, and kind of catered to the Major League Baseball player wives.
Nice.
That was like the place where they stayed. And this was after my first year at Arizona State. And I lived in a condo with 4 or 5 other women through roommates.com and got a great job. My best friend from back home at the time, his dad's roommate in college was the regional CEO for Marriott.
Okay.
Got us these gigs. You know, we worked on and off through the week, and then we'd go to Tijuana every weekend. But no, I was a Cabana Boy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Probably not quite the same as we do it, but
It was, I don't know. I
with-
worked for my tips because I was not a server. I was a Cabana Boy. So,
yeah.
suntan lotion,
Okay. All right. So maybe it's more similar.
the crisp towels, the cold
Especially
beer.
for, a baseball wife. I think there's kind of a bad rap with athletes' wives that they're not always with their partners. So,
Oh,
you know,
they have a different world.
they need some attention elsewhere.
Cabana Boys.
Yeah.
I was there. I was there for them.
How is San Diego? I've only spent a little bit of time there.
It's honestly great.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many great towns that I keep discovering. But, if I were to pick a West Coast location compared to this paradise, it'd probably be San Diego.
Yeah. I'm surprised you guys aren't there.
We are
Oh.
lightly just because it takes so much money to do well in San Diego. Like we had like a burst, and then the momentum kind of fizzled a little bit. We're still there, but we're waiting for the right budget.
Okay.
San Diego is definitely a great market.
Are there more hoops to jump through because it's California? Because California is just
No,
like
there's
strict
actually more opportunity. There's more retail stores, there's more bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
It just means there's more competition.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were a Cabana Boy.
Yep. I do not have a twin brother.
Okay.
I am an only child, unfortunately.
Me too.
I've always wanted, brothers and sisters, but here we are.
Yeah, I feel that.
I have 3 lovely stepsisters.
I do. I'm almost the exact same. I have 3 stepsisters and 1 stepbrother.
That's crazy. Did we just become best friends?
I think we did.
All right.
That's funny. All right, so then Russell Simmons.
Yeah. I quit my job. I was an operating partner at Becky and the Porch. Founded those 2 spots, and I was burnt out. And I said, all right, I'm skipping town, and ended up living in Bali for a little bit.
Nice.
And one of the first guys I kind of met first couple weeks was Russell Simmons. And we did like a 20-minute meditation after hot yoga, and then hung out with him for a little bit. And he's just kind of like a spiritual guru kind of over there.
How'd you meet him? Like
Randomly through 2 girls that I bumped into at a cafe. And they just happened to know him, and they're like, hey, come with us to Ubud today, and we'll do some yoga classes. And then Russell showed up, and I was like, all right, this is pretty surreal.
Yeah.
Like, you started Def Jam and basically created the hip hop culture.
That's crazy.
We're in a sauna talking, and I'm like,
It's like something out
this
of like
is
a
really
movie.
him. And he's talking about the mental health issues with Kanye at the time. This was 2018, before like it was starting to surface that he was really losing his marbles. So
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
So did you keep in touch with him, or he just instilled some wisdom?
He tried, I mean, here and there on like WhatsApp, but he's just in his own little world.
Totally.
He would just call me Clark Kent the whole time. Yeah. Because I'd wear my glasses here and there, and I ran out of contacts, halfway through the trip. So I'd be wearing these like Clark Kent glasses while I'm doing yoga, and he'd just make fun of me the whole time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So do you meditate a lot now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I use Headspace, and
Yeah, same.
you got to get in the good headspace.
Yeah.
As they say.
I think that's like for entrepreneurs, founders, people who are busy, like it's so important that they set aside that time. And it's also very challenging too. I've talked about meditation a couple of times on this podcast. Like it's very, very hard when you're like running a mile a minute the rest of your day to like turn off for a little bit. Like I struggle with it, but I know that it's so critical to like.
Well, it's counterproductive if you don't.
Right.
People don't understand that. It's like, all right, let's try to get as much done as possible and make my brain explode. When you slow it down and make it clear and calm, these ideas will come. The answers come to you.
Yeah.
When you shut the brain down, calm down, and create silence and still, then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah. I hear you.
So that's the productivity, is just taking 10 minutes out of the day and doing that.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So where's your favorite place to go in Scottsdale?
I actually love Global Ambassador because
that's the new hot spot.
You don't feel like you're in Arizona.
Yeah.
It's great. The clientele's good. It's a good looking crowd. They have 7 restaurants, beautiful rooftop finally, where you can see, 360 views of the city. So
yeah,
big fan.
I feel like I haven't been yet, to be fair, but I feel like everybody's talking about it. It's so hot right now. Yeah.
It's hot for a reason. So they nailed it with the design and everything else.
And then you said you like to travel, and you like expand Becky where you like to travel.
Yeah.
Where is your favorite place to go domestically and internationally?
Domestically would probably be Miami. Culture-wise, New York. So yeah, Miami just for the vibes, just for the beach. I love blue water. Who doesn't? New York for the culture and the food. Entertainment, probably Nashville.
Yeah.
I named a bunch of different places, but those, like you have to split hairs a little bit when it comes to travel and places.
Yeah.
Internationally, probably Brazil. I think Brazil is the most beautiful place I've ever been to.
Really? God, I gotta
and
go.
The culture out there, it's like there's a pull-up bar next to every beach bar. So it's like, okay, do a couple pull-ups and have a couple sips.
Yeah.
And beach life, it's inexpensive. It's the food is incredible. I have all good things to say. And yes, it's safe.
Yeah.
I can't stand when people say it's not.
Right.
Stop watching the news.
Yeah, seriously. I would love to go down there. I've never been to South America. Cabo is actually the furthest south I've been. But
Cabo is it's Arizona with the beach.
I was there last week, actually.
Nice.
For a wedding.
Okay.
Have you been to Sunset Mona Lisa?
I have.
Dude, the view there is just insane.
It's incredible.
So cool. That's what my friend's wedding was like, right on that patio. It was spectacular.
It's the go-to spot.
Yeah.
For receptions.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some fishbowl questions.
Let's go.
Are you ready? Why don't you draw one, read it, and we'll both answer.
Okay. Drum roll, please. What do you pretend to hate but actually love?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
What do I pretend to hate but actually love?
Okay, I have one if you don't have one ready.
What? This is great. Work.
Yeah? That's a good answer.
How about work in doing the hard things, right? Mm-hmm. The hard things that you really don't want to do, and then you realize that you actually love them because you get that dopamine that kicks in, and you're like, wow, I just had a growth spurt there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I used to never, I never wanted to realize in what work was, and it's just finding what you do best.
Mm-hmm.
So took a spin on this, I guess.
I like that. Yeah. No, I sometimes people ask like, what are your hobbies?
Yeah.
And I do have hobbies, but I'd say my work is also kind of my hobby. Like I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're building something and you like there's, like you said, there's peaks and valleys, but like overall, I'm like, this is great. I like getting into the weeds. I like, zooming out and looking at macro strategy. Like it's very good. So the thing I was going to say was, this is not me personally, but I think a lot of people feel this way. They say that they hate Nickelback, but they actually love Nickelback.
That's a great one. Touche.
I've been to like at least 2 Nickelback concerts, and I'm very proud of that, honestly.
I haven't had the chance, but I mean, you'll catch it on my Apple Music.
Yeah.
You know, playing at the gym sometimes.
Look at this photograph.
It's actually on my, recently or most played.
Yeah.
It was on there. There's a list of, because I still use Apple Music. I don't use Spotify yet for some reason. Yeah. But yeah, it was like the 70 songs that you play the most, and that
it was on there.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
nice.
We're aligned, man.
Yeah.
We're aligned.
We did just become best friends. All right. I'm going to read one. Ooh. Have you ever had a crush on one of your professors or teachers?
Is this coming back to me again?
We both answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Back in the day, whether it was high school, I felt like it was all old people.
So it's funny.
I didn't have this like movie scene crush teacher ever.
Right.
And I was like, why?
The only one I think was close for me, I think it was in like 6th grade. I think her name was like Miss Roser or something like that. And she was younger.
Yeah.
But at the time, she was probably like 40, you
Yeah.
know, but we thought that she was old, you know. But it's funny, I saw a thing on social media that, you remember Rugrats, the show?
Yeah.
It showed like all the dads in like a swimming pool.
Yeah.
It's like, at the time, these were the old dads. Now they just look like your friends. You know?
Facts.
So when you're like 8 years old, like your
Yeah.
teachers look very old, but they're probably not, you know? So
The perception of age, man.
yeah. Yeah. So no teachers, no professors at ASU.
No, just a bunch of old people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Darn. Yeah.
Like it could have been trouble.
Yeah.
Could have been trouble if
That's probably
could have been a thing.
at ASU. That's probably like a hiring requirement. Like you can't be hot because there's so many just like horny, good-looking people there.
Oh, it's unreal. You're probably right. It's in the bylaws.
Yeah, you have to be over 75.
Yeah, definitely with Jim Crow. He's against anything has to deal with sex and party. So yeah,
for sure. All right, let's do one more.
Yeah,
you read it.
Let's see what we got here.
I'm gonna break open one more Becky.
Let's do it. Oh, you finished it.
Yeah,
I'm behind.
I usually.
Whoops.
This is not a joke. I usually don't. I get like halfway through these in an episode.
You got to try a different flavor.
Oh yeah, and passion fruit. Oh yeah,
all right.
Mango.
Would you rather only eat pickles for a month or drink ranch dressing for a month? I'm actually a big fan of pickles.
Really?
So, I mean, this is pretty easy. I almost think we need a redraw. Come on. No one's going to drink ranch for a damn month. Even though I do like ranch, but in doses.
Pickles are so good.
Yeah.
Pickles are good.
Oh, and they're hydrating too. People don't understand the sodium content is good for you.
So I like pickles, but I like the herb dill more so. Like dill pickles are good, but like dill, oh my gosh. My wife is like, dude, you have an unhealthy obsession with this herb.
There's actually a lot of options now.
Yeah.
You know, you have the spicy ones, you have the sweet ones, you have just the plain ones. They're great. And then sometimes if you're hungover, dehydrated, drink right out of the jar.
Yep.
Best thing for
I've
you.
heard that. There's a dill pickle juice sports drink, actually.
Okay, I believe that actually.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're crazy enough, Jameson with a pickleback.
Oh, yeah, those are good. I'm
That
on board
might
with
be
that.
one of the better combinations.
Yeah.
Deadly.
Yeah.
I remember when Jameson was a popular shooter. No. I'm glad it's not trending anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when is the dill pickle Becky coming out?
Ooh, well, you just put it on my radar.
Yes. Spotlight's on you now. Time to make it
I
happen.
mean, we have the capabilities of putting whiskey in the can.
Hey.
So there you go.
I don't know
Whiskey
of any
pickleback in a can.
alcoholic beverage that I mean, I'm sure there is, but like, yeah.
There's so many out there, right? It's a saturated market, so it's point of differentiation, right?
Yeah.
So let's give the people what they're looking for.
Hydrate while you're getting some personality.
Yeah. Detox.
So, Eric, where can people find Becky, buy Becky, give the plug?
Well, if you feel like going out, you can find her at Hot Chick, Kala, 50 Shades, Almost Famous, Bevy, which is, I still have ownership in Bevy.
Nice.
Those would be kind of like the trendier spots in Scottsdale. And then we're in every Total Wine.
Okay.
And then various like independent stores throughout the valley. And then if you're in Nashville, we are in Nashville too. And then we're going through a relaunch in San Diego here soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, and Cabo too. So
Cabo. What is it, in restaurants or bars there?
we're about to launch very soon. We
Okay.
did a nice little teaser last month for spring break.
Nice. Okay.
Spring Becky.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, this has been super fun.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for
Likewise,
being on here.
man.
And I'm glad we made the connection. And thanks y'all for listening. Leave us a rating and review. Help us grow the show, and get y'all soon.
Thank you for listening to the Cabana Boys Podcast. Please like and subscribe to get new episodes as they're released. Write to the show by sending an email to thecabanaboyspodcast@gmail.com. You can find the video version of the show on YouTube at the Cabana Boys YouTube channel. The Cabana Boys and all other related brands are also on Instagram and TikTok at Cabana Boys Podcast, The Cabana Boys, The Cocktail Cowboys, and The Cocktail Boys. This has been a T-Door production.